Hello, everybody. It's Zane Miller. How the heck are you? I am super excited because I have an awesome hangout ready to rock. We are with the always awesome Jason Fladlien, and we were actually just chatting off air, and he's told me about some awesome stuff. But why we're here is because we're talking about a very, very awesome opportunity, an opportunity that Jason actually put a very, very high profiting business on hold just for this. And he hasn't stopped. I mean, this guy is just totally bananas, and I just can't say enough good things about him. I'm really excited that he's here. Jason, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for those who've never seen you?
Well, thank you, Zane. My name is Jason Fladlien. I'm the CEO of Rapid Crush Inc., which is this year going to be over an $8 million business, I think. But it's not the business that excites most. The business that excites me the most is our Amazon business, which we were first introduced from Matt Clark and Jason Katzenbach from Amazing Sewing Machine. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And as our Amazon business grows, it's less and less that I get excited about $6 or $7 or $8 million over here on the RCI side of things, Rapid Crush Inc., and more so on the potential of 5 years from now, if I'm not making at least $25 million in my Amazon business, I screwed something up.
That's a bold statement. So why is it that Amazon is so much more interesting to you than your massively successful information business?
It's really, really simple of an answer. Is I see people who I've coached throughout the years, and I'm one of the best coaches in internet marketing, if I can so modestly claim myself to be, is I'm very good at training people. I'm very good at creating good information courses and software and things of that nature to help people make money online. And I've made a lot of people a lot of money online, but that dwarfs, it's like this big in comparison to all the success stories that we've done just as the top affiliate for Amazing Selling Machine. I mean, all these people making this amount of money versus this many people over here, then the numbers, the results speak for themselves. And so, for example, my business partner, Wilson Matos, his wife, has zero background in internet marketing, zero business experience. We didn't even help her. We handed her basically the course and our bonuses. We said, go to town, and she, within the span of 5 months, is building a business now that is going to be over $40,000 a month on Amazon. And you say, Jason, do that with internet marketing? Impossible. I can't, right?
Right.
And so we were able to promote and help people succeed at a rate with Amazing Selling Machine that no other affiliate was able to do. And part of the reason was, A, I'm really good at training people, which was my background in internet marketing, but B, I said, I'm not going to just promote this to you, I'm going to go in on it with you. So right before this call, Zane, I was just showing him some of the stuff in my office laying around. We have thousands of dollars worth of China samples. This samples from China from products that we're potentially interested in and things that we're looking at selling. And so we do this full time ourselves now, and so we're able to share insights that you cannot us because we've created and innovated and invented new things related to selling on ASM or on Amazon that even ASM doesn't necessarily cover. And so yeah, when you combine the best results that I've ever seen alive for any internet marketing training program for taking people with zero experience and making them a lot of money, and you combine that with the fact of, like, we have seen amazing opportunities in our own Amazon business that have never existed even in our going to be probably $8 million a year business this year. It's safe to say that this is kind of like Haley's Comet. It comes once in a while, and then it doesn't come again for a very long time.
Yeah, that was actually I gotta say I kept bugging Jason. I said, is this coming out yet? Is this coming out again? It was always they play it pretty close to the vest. They're always pretty quiet about when it comes around again.
Yeah, and we really don't even know. And it's funny because I just saw Chase Turner. He asked in the group chat here, did you see that? He says, can I
I
just
did.
go ahead and get the affiliate link now and get started? Well, at the time that we record this, Chase, and for anybody else listening, is we can't sell it to you because it's not live yet. The way that ASM works is it opens up for usually 7 days during a launch sequence. It's open for those 7 days and it's closed. And since it's not my product, I'm just the top affiliate for it. I have no say on when the card opens and closes. But when it's open, Chase, I will make sure that you get the first link to sign up through us.
We got
You
your
can hold
we
me to
got your
that.
back, Chase.
You can hold me to that.
Awesome. Now, actually, you'd mentioned some of the stuff that you do as the number one affiliate, and I would like to discuss that in just a minute. But I was curious about some new things that are developing. Is there anything that's come up between the last time that that ASM came out, and new things, anything that's particularly exciting for you, kind of a sneak peek that you're really jazzed about.
Yeah, there's two things. What we've developed on our own, and I can't speak to what's going to be in the ASM course this time that wasn't in there last time, because when I say I don't create the course, I just say they say here's what we got now, and I promote that, and then I add my own things to that. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. Now, us personally, the big focus that we're looking at is twofold with this new ASM launch that's coming down. One of them is I discovered techniques. I call them being invisible on Amazon, meaning you can be on page 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 for your keywords on Amazon and still sell very well. And so that was some of our focus. We just noticed that if you have an Amazon listing, you have a certain amount of trust with consumers. You have a certain currency that you can leverage just by being on Amazon that you can't leverage anywhere else. And then techniques that you would do in the past or other stuff online that would only work so-so or not work at all, they actually work very easily for Amazon type of products. So we have proven with certain clients that you could be on page 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7 for your product from the search results on Amazon and still make $10,000 or more a month, which I find very fascinating. Yeah. So like if we, it's like this. It's like a two-step approach. Step number 1, let's push it to the top of Amazon. But step number 2, if we don't get it to the top, let's use this other plan B thing and let's still make 10,000 with it, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing here is I want to figure out how to completely outsource the Amazon business from A to Z. So that way we only take on products that are already super profitable by the time I actually put my active amount of time into it. And so we've been working towards that very significantly. I know that sounds crazy, right? But I literally have so many Amazon businesses where I own an equity stake in that I don't even know exactly how many I have. And it's intentional as I've built inroads with being the top affiliate for ASM. I built inroads with all these successful people, gave them money for a stake in the business. Those guys get things started. They send it over to me, and I look at and analyze the results, and I say, this is what we can do to tweak this thing to double its profits. This is what we can do to tweak that thing to times it by 10, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, not only am I doing this for my own benefit, which is nice, but I'm doing this to see what can we outsource completely so by the time I touch it, it's already successful. So therefore, I can teach the people that come in underneath me into the ASM course how I did this hands-off so they can hopefully then maybe do some of it or all of it hands-off as well, right?
Wow. See, now that is super exciting, and again, it's one of those things that I'm guilty of this, but I kept pestering Jason and Wilson saying, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? Because that's actually what everyone else does. Like there's like this little peak, and then everyone kind of looks around and like, oh yeah, that's what okay, we're gonna copy that. And so it always seems to me that it's almost a little exhausting for you to always be coming up with something better and something newer than everyone else. But you always seem to pull it off, man. I gotta say that's incredibly impressive, and why I've always wanted to reach out to you and interview you, because everybody follows, right? So
Yeah.
the next thing, like with this comes a big community. I mean, you already have a huge community that follows you, but
The biggest.
true to
Out of
form,
all of the-
right?
By far.
True to form, you did the same thing with Amazing Selling Machine. Can you tell us a little bit more about this community that has been created from this, the ASM Masters?
Sure. So before ASM ever existed, Matt and Jason actually sold a product called AMM, Amazon Money Machines, and we were the #1 affiliate for that. And that was the year prior to ASM 1, which was last year, 2013. And so when ASM 1 launched, I believe in March of 2013, we were the #1 affiliate for that. And then ASM 2 launched, and I don't know exactly when that was, but that was in the last quarter, I believe, of 2013. We were the #1 affiliate for that. And then when ASM 3 launched, which was in April of 2014, we were the #1 affiliate for that. And we had sold 600 more units than the #2 affiliate, right? 600 units of a course that is, at least on the surface of it, it seems to be expensive, although it really isn't, right? But to have that amount of sales over the #2 is amazing. And I mean, we had similar in terms of results with the ASM 2 and ASM 1. So not only have we been the top affiliate 4 times thus far, including all 3 ASMs and the one before that, which was AMM. So not only have we been the top affiliate, but by margins that are so significantly bigger than the next affiliates that if you combine #2, 3, and 4, historically overall of referrals of sales to to ASM, we'd probably still have more sales than they do. Now, here's why this is important to you listening to this right now. There are reasons why people come to us as opposed to anybody else. The first reason is not because I'm such a good slick-tongued, silver-haired pitchman that knows some voodoo persuasion techniques. Although I'm pretty good, customers usually buy from us as opposed to anybody else because we have the best bonuses. Plain and simple as that. Customers are smart. And we tell customers, and we've always promoted ASM as, hey, I don't care if you love me. Buy from the person you think that's going to get you the best deal. Because that's what I want ultimately, is for my customers to be successful, right? And so it just so happens as people go out there, they competition, they see what other affiliates offer, and then they come back and they buy from us, okay? That's the first reason. And then reason number two, and Zane kind of touched upon this, is we have the biggest community, so guess what? Nothing begets success like success. If I have $10 and I put it in like a small interest account, I might make $1 a year, right? But if I have $10 million and I put it into an interest account, we can make more on completely passive interest growth than what some people or a lot of people make in a year, right? So nothing succeeds like success. When you have a group, and we have the largest group, and we are the most hands-on with our group, not only does this mean that I'm still building and improving and perfecting and adding to bonuses that we offered in March of 2013. So think of how good we've gotten those bonuses since then. They were already the best back then for ASM1, and now they're better because we've actively worked to improve them because we have our community that we have to support, right? But even better than that, our people are succeeding at a rate that's higher than anybody else's, and guess who they come and share their secrets with? This guy right here, because this is the guy that got them in, so they feel obligated to come and share. So I've had more in the secret whispered into my ear results, intelligence, insider information on Amazon than anybody probably has, because I am so active and so hands-on with my group that they tell me certain things they don't tell anybody else, and from that I'm able to see things on Amazon in a way that nobody else in the whole planet Earth can see them. And by having these insights, which I only get because we have the biggest audience and we're the most hands-on with it, is I'm able to then synthesize and share with you information, techniques, tricks, tips, strategies that you just can't get anywhere else. And again, it's not because I'm some unbelievable genius who's figured these out on my own. It's just you give me 1,000 or 2,000 people that are super successful on Amazon who I talk with on a daily basis, and by accident you learn some of the coolest stuff, if not on purpose, right?
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I've really been keeping my ear to the ground about is that, well, Amazon as a whole has been around for a very, very long time, as well as some of the ways that just everyday people can generate income online. What I'd like to find out is what pitfalls do you see just the regular Joe without the help of an awesome community running into? Right?
Yes,
what
great
is that
question.
like?
So there's actually 4 levels. This is the way that I look at it. Level 1 is just anybody and everybody selling on Amazon. So whether it's the big company, the small company, some guy doing it part-time on the side, there's your base 1 Amazon sellers. And you can usually spot them because they have horrible titles, horrible pictures, no reviews, no bullet points, no product descriptions, and they're selling products that have a really tiny demand, right? And then you have your level 2. You have guys that are somewhat sophisticated, or not just guys, but girls too, right? You have people that are somewhat sophisticated, someone who knows a little bit of marketing, and they got their product listing on there, and they've tried actively to get good reviews, and they've actively tried to position and potentially even rank themselves in Amazon's search engine, right? Then you have level 3. And level 3 is the guys and girls who have bought ASM. And so now they know the tricks that 95% of other Amazon sellers do not know. And so there's some advantage there, as long as you use it, of course. If you just do nothing with it, there's no advantage. But if you use it, you have an advantage over every other Amazon seller. Okay? But the problem is you don't have necessarily an advantage over any other ASMer in general, right? Because you're all pulling from the same information. You're all pulling from the same sources. And so any advantage that you get, you either have to invent yourself proactively, or you have to outwork the competition, which is not normally something that we strive for, is to figure out ways to make our life harder. Now, if it can be justified with the amount of income that you can get out of it, great, you know, but ideally we don't want to work just harder. We want to be able to, in the same amount of time, be 10 times or 100 times more effective, right? And that's where the creme de la creme is, so to speak, is what we call the ASM Masters, which anybody who buys through my affiliate link, they get added to the secret Facebook group. And then the question becomes, well, do I have any advantage over any other ASM master? And the answer is not necessarily. But us tiny amount of collective, and there's a couple thousand, there's like 1,800 people in there right now. There'll be a couple thousand after the ASM4 launch. Is if you compare that to all the ASM sellers in general and all the people selling on Amazon, it's microscopic. But we have this small group of people that are very actively knowing what we know and the insights we've shared and the insights that our members share with us and everybody in the community. We now have some advantages that other people don't have. And so when you ask me about pitfalls, Zane, is like the first thing I'm going to do in ASM4 is give a list of 50 products. I'm going to say, whatever you do not sell these 50 products.
Huh.
They're very deceptive, okay? On the outward appearance, they look like they meet all the criteria, like they have enough demand, with enough potential to compete in them, with enough opportunity to easily private label them, and with enough ways to rank them very quickly. But I know through experience, and this is the only way anybody could ever know this, because on the surface of it, it seems like they would make sense. I know from experience that there are better products than those that are so obvious. They're magnets, is what we call them. ASMers are drawn to these, and we'd rather have them drawn to those and all those fight for 16 spots on page 1, and we go through the other routes. And I can show you ways to find products that no other ASMer can find that are arguably just as good, but they don't have 50 or 100 other ASMers selling them. And I've identified over 1,000 such products on Amazon that are ripe for the taking, and I could show every member how to do the same. So we are cooperatively working with each other instead of competitively working against each other. What you're going to find is going to happen in other markets. So, like, I'll give you one example. As you say, oh, that magnetic screen door, that looked great, right? I told everybody in our group in ASM3, I said, watch out for that. And as I saw, there was 500 other ASMers that came in for that product, and we all stayed away from it for the most part, and they all fought over it, and we went on other products that were not so obvious. And you can say, well, gee, Jason, how'd you know that one was going to do this one as opposed to this other product that had no ASM competition? Well, I can't give away everything for free on a Hangout, right?
Of course. So then, with all of this, right, you've got the ASM community, you've got these awesome bonuses that you're talking about. You've even touched on a few of them, but that strikes a little bit deeper to the question, this next question. What makes buying through RCI, Jason Fladlien, and the ASM Masters better than the other affiliates, especially if all they're doing is waiting for you to release the next thing so they can copy you?
Well, I put it this way very succinctly in the last ASM. I said, while other people are promising you what you will get after you sign up with them, we're showing you what our members are already getting that you can also get. So instead of future potential, we get present specific. So when ASM3 launched, for example, the day that it launched, I remember the date very clearly. It was April 17th, 2014. And how do I remember that date? Because that was the date we also pushed one of our past ASM members to #1 in all of kitchen and dining on Amazon. Wow. So while other people were just promoting ASM, we were also servicing previous customers who had bought from us on ASM simultaneously, not just to the tune they were doing okay, but the tune of #1 in all of Amazon, right, for their level category, which is kitchen and dining. And so the point was very clear is, if you take a bonus that's already amazing and you perfect it over 18 months or 16 months or 12 months, anybody who's trying to compete with you today, how do they catch up?
That's a very compelling point, yeah.
I don't know if they can. And the other question is I don't know if they even want to, right? They go elsewhere. They pick their battles more wisely, right? And so they say, forget trying to beat these guys. Let's do something else. Let's promote something else. Let's build something else, because we can't beat them, right? And so the thing is how good our bonuses were in ASM3. Imagine how good they are now, because it's now October, and when they launched in April. So we have been working nonstop for the last 6 months, not to just create new bonuses, and we do have some new bonuses this time, right? But to perfect existing bonuses. I mean, let me put it another way, Zane, and I'm not going to call out any names, although I could. It's like, how many affiliates who've promoted products like ASM or promoted ASM didn't even deliver on the bonuses that they promised? What to speak of over-delivering. Let's just say adequately saying, I told you were going to get this, this, and this, and then you never got this or that or all of them. I mean, so it's one thing to say, gee, let's just deliver the bonuses. Let's start there, right? Which would be great. But let's deliver the bonuses so tremendously powerful, and then let's perfect them over the span of 16, 18 months and add new bonuses on top of that. Plus, and you've seen this firsthand, Zane, we have so much stuff that we can't even mention it. So it's unadvertised bonuses. Our unadvertised bonuses that we don't even talk about during the launch sequence for ASM are usually better than everybody else's advertised bonuses, simply because I can't list out and say, here's 76 bonuses you get, right? Don't have the time. So I say, here's the 6 best ones, and everything else is we just naturally give you anyway during the course of the training when it makes sense for you to have those or when you need those, right?
All right, so this question has come up before, and I just got to ask because this actually happened last time. Why do you think that people bought not once but sometimes even twice?
Very good question. So last time we had, I believe, 46 people who already owned ASM from another person that they bought it through, buy through us again. Okay. Now we had over 200 people who came to me and said, Jason, I know the game, and you guys get 50% affiliate commission. Let me just pay you your 50% so I can get into your community, your ASM Masters, and get all the bonuses. And we said, no, can't do that, right? Because I said in ASM 1 that the only way you could ever get into ASM Masters was to buy through our affiliate link, no exceptions. And so I'm not going to go back because I would be lying if I let people in on the backside, right? Now, think about it. Out of the 200 people that asked, 46 of them said yes. I would have made more money if I would have just let everybody and their brother in. But I only want people that come in through us and have that experience to be part of this group. I think that's what makes it so amazing. So on the first time, ASM 3, 46 people bought from us, again, who already owned it. I will tell you this time, just the verbal commitments, we already have over 100 people who said that the second ASM opens, I'm buying through you again, Jason, just to get in on this group. And I'll tell you the main reason why, Zane. You weren't there, but when Vegas happened earlier this year, and Vegas was the ASM customer event, so everybody who buys from ASM 4 is going to be invited to an event. This event had 2,700 people there, right? It was the first time that I spoke on stage at the main ASM event, because we always do a one-day special training just for ASM Masters, which, by the way, we had 600 people there this time, right, just at our pre-day event, who had just bought from us that had showed up. And so then I'm speaking on the main stage. And I kid you not, ask anybody who was there, who got the best standing ovation, the biggest applause, the one that got people more excited. It was this guy, right? I got on, and for 90 minutes I shared with them just one small facet of Amazon, which is optimizing your Amazon listing.